हाँ जो अपना है।
एक सेकंड।
फटाफट हाथ चलाओ, टाइम जा रहा है, सोने लगेगा लोग फिर, अब बहुत लेट हो रहा है।
Checking. Yeah, it's gone live. I can see your browser. Everything looks great. You just might want to hide your bookmarks ka tab if you want to. हाँ हाँ हाँ, ठीक है। तो इसमें तो पहले 4 नेम डाल के रख दे, एंड देन आई एम गोइंग लाइव, ओके? ठीक है। आई एम मेकिंग द पोस्ट, वन sec. All right, let me just check it once before everything is fine. All right, perfect.
तुम्हारा बस लेकिन क्यों नहीं आएगा?
Cool, cool. We're live. We can start right now. Uh, Hello guys, what's up guys? This is Vishi here from Alright, let me just check it once. Vishi here from League Connect India, and we are live with the draws for the group stage right now. Before I start off, let me just introduce the panel that will be conducting the live draws today. I have with me Frost with me. How are you doing, Frost?
I'm doing fine and I'm mighty excited for this.
Damn man, I am so freaking excited. And on the other side, I do have Orion who is muted, but he's also basically going to be helping us with the draws itself. So as you can see that the draws are ready in front of us. Before we start, Orion, could you just navigate to the sheet where the rosters are listed right now, so that we can have a look at what's happening?
Could you mute the stream behind you, please?
Yeah, I did that. I realized that this noise was coming.
Yeah.
All right, Orion, just can you navigate to the tab where the rosters are there? All right, cool. So basically, what's happening here is that we have two different pools that we have done for the LoL Indian Champions Cup. Frost, would you like to go through and explain why we have done this seeding and why these teams have been chosen, specifically the ones in Pool A?
Well, the seeding's been done on the basis of majority past performance. The teams which are there and the players which are there in these teams have displayed really good performance, and I'm saying like top 2 level performance in the past several tournaments over the months. So these 4 teams were given exemptions, as in they are Pool A teams, so they will not be meeting each other in the group stages and will be occupying 1 slot each in each of the groups. So yeah, that's why the majority ways it was the way in which the Pool A teams were chosen.
Definitely, and this is pretty exciting. So just to round it up again, Ruthless Gaming have been one of the pioneers for the last 2 or 3 tournaments. They have won the Zotac Community Cup, they have won the IGC tournament as well, and they were the second seeded team that ended up going to the Asian qualifiers as well. So they are rightfully so a part of the roster. Eximius Gold being the winners of the South Asia qualifiers to Asian Cup also warrant that spot on that side as well. Meanwhile, we do have White Shadows now renamed to Nutcut Londe, who have also shown consistent performances over the last 3 to 4 tournaments and have placed in either the number one, number two, or number three spots onto their respective tournaments. And finally, we have Bangladesh's RVX, aka Red Vipers Gaming, who have also shown incredibly great performance and have always been the top two or top three in major parts. So that basically rounds out Pool A, and this is why they will be seeded into random teams. On the other hand, we do have Pool B teams, which is the other 12 teams of the tournament. Frost, in amongst the Pool B teams, are there a couple of teams that you think are still pretty good or actually can go toe to toe with the Pool A teams?
Most definitely. So, like some of the teams, apart from the Pool B teams, are really, really strong and can give any of the Pool A teams a run for their money. I think the Thought, the team from Bangladesh, Storm Raiders, which is your team. Apart from that, Infernal Gaming, Lanka Lions, all of these people, tons of experience, and yeah, they can give any of the teams a good run for their money.
That's it. So that's going to be great. So before we start off with the draws, let me just explain to you guys how it's going to go. So we will first be placing Pool A teams into the respective groups of A, B, and A, B, C, and D. Once Pool A teams have been drafted, we will go and start drafting Pool B teams one after the other. For example, we will first check for Group A, draft a random team from Pool B onto Group A, then move on to Group B, Group C, Group D, then go back again to Group A, and so on and so forth. So without further ado, let's go to the Wheel of Fortune that we will be using. Orion, could you change the screen? As you can see right now, this is going to be the drafting for the Pool A team. So there are 4 teams that you guys see are there. And let's see what ends up getting picked. So, Orion, can you just go ahead and do the draws?
It's showing still the Pool teams to me. Honestly.
There is a bit of delay first, so we'll have to go with what Orion tells us. All right, so it's going to be Ruthless Gaming that end up being the first group to be drafted. So Group A, rightfully so, now goes to Ruthless Gaming. So I have updated that onto my Excel sheet as well. So kudos to Ruthless Gaming for being a part of Group A. And yeah, dude, there is some noise when that thing pops up, so don't mind when that happens. Moving on to the next draft, Orion, could you spin the Wheel of Fortune, as we call it, and see which team goes to Group B? Alright, so it looks like Eximius Esports are going to be part of Group B, so that's going to be pretty interesting as well. And Orion, could you go in and move the last Wheel of Fortune for the drafting from Pool A, so we will know which team is going to be a part of that? Frost is happy. So Red Vipers Gaming are going to be a part of is going to be part of Group C, which means White Shadows, aka Nutcut Londe, are going to be a part of Group D. So basically, Orion, could you just go to live draw screens? So basically, this is the drafting that we have so far. So Group A, Group B, Group C, and Group D have been drafted. So Pool A teams have been drafted live. We will start with commencement of the other 12 teams soon. Just to remind you guys, the Group A matches will be played on Friday, Group B and C matches will be played on Saturday, and Group D matches will be played on Sunday. So accordingly, their matches also will be scheduled. All right, I think this is now the time to actually start doing the real drafting, because this was an arbitrary draft to get the teams onto their pools. But Pool B drafts amongst the 12 teams are going to be the exciting ones first. So I'm going to let Orion take it up, and Orion just enter the 12 teams onto the Wheel of Fortune and see who ends up getting for Group A right now will be the first one that will get picked. So let's see which team from Pool B ends up joining Ruthless on their journey for the group stages. Alright, so it's going to be Meme Team that's going to be a part of Ruthless Gaming. So Meme Team would probably gonna have a very interesting time playing against Ruthless Gaming. I think Ruthless Gaming they don't really care who ends up being in the team. As when I spoke to the captain Kaka, he's like, he's gonna stomp on just about everyone. So, Frost, what do you have to think about that starting meme team getting Ruthless onto their group?
Well, somebody has to get them, so yeah, somebody will get Ruthless in their group eventually. Of course, Kaka never short of confidence as far as self-confidence is concerned. So, yeah, meme team getting Ruthless, it's kind of unlucky for them, I guess. But yeah, they'll have to practice and really bring their A game.
And just some updates, guys. Meme team are playing with their new jungler, or basically the oldest gold incarnation is back, and he is playing for meme team. So maybe meme team might just come out and show us something that would be pretty interesting to follow. Moving on, let's see who Exenius Esports gets with them in Group B. Oran, can you make the draws? It's going to be Ignite Esports that is going to be a part of Group D. So Ignite Esports is actually a team from India comprised of a very few promising players. So Frost, would you like to talk a bit more about who Ignite Esports are? Frost? Frost, hello?
Sorry, I'm having a bit of connection issues.
Okay. Ignite Esports is basically was the one that I'm saying is the team that is being selected and will be a part of the Group B with Exenius Esports. So the roster is basically formed with guys like AG Rage Quitter, Argus, Crow, Starter Kit, and a few other people. So it's going to be pretty interesting. What are your thoughts on them as a team right now? And do you think they can pose any challenge to Exenius Esports coming into Group B?
I wouldn't know because I haven't seen them play for a bit. But yeah, they're a pretty solid team. They're going to have their fair share of problems because they have not had that much practice together as a team. So yeah, we'll have to just wait and see how they turn out, to be honest. Definitely a team which can take off games from anyone in their day.
All right, let's move on to Group C and Red Vipers Gaming. Orion, can you roll the Wheel of Fortune? So Storm Raiders are going to be part of Group C. Well, Frost, it's basically you and I. We are going to be enemies on the battlefield and friends onto the stream. So what do you think of you getting us into your group, Frost?
Well, I just mentioned that you're one of the better teams in Pool B. So I think that pretty much suffices what I have to say about your team.
Yeah, and personally as well, like I am like, okay. I mean, honestly, the top 4 seeded teams are pretty good themselves. So getting any of them means that you still have to beat them at the end of the day. So Storm Raiders are going to be part of Red Vipers Gaming. They will play their matches on Saturday. And it really depends a lot on some of the other teams and where they get drafted first, because there are teams like Thought who have not yet been drafted, and if they end up being in any of these teams, it's gonna spice the groups pretty highly, right? So Orion, can you see which team will end up being a part of White Shadows and will join them in Group D? So Thought Gaming is gonna be a part with the White Shadows roster. Frost, fun fact, you had hosted a community draft event recently where actually White Shadows and Thought did end up playing against each other, and it was due to Panda's insane split pushing and the macro of White Shadows that won them their matches. But what do you think going now of them playing each other again, and how do you think that matchup's gonna go?
The last time Panda put in a stellar performance and pulled them through, but I don't think they'll be giving him the split pushes this time unless Panda pulls out a new champion or White Shadows as a whole pulls out some new strats. It's going to be fun.
I'm loving the comments. Brutality is like Joda dropped his 30. So the mid laner, right? Like not enough can be said. He has been really hyped up. Youngwook Lee. Frost, do you think this mid laner is going to shine in this tournament? Because we have heard a lot about him, and
he is definitely one of the best mid laners we have in the tournament. And the last time he came against White Shadows, he was extremely fed, and he almost carried the game on his own. So it's going to be really fun, the matchup between Panda and that mid laner guy.
All right. Panda versus Thought Shield version 2. Let's go. All right, now we go back to drawing the third team in Group A. So, Ryan, could you roll the Wheel of Fortune? All right, so Epic Gamers are going to be a part of Group A. Epic Gamers is a roster made up of some talented individuals who have signed up at the last minute. First, do you know a little more about this team?
Yeah, Epic Gamers is a team comprising of mostly Bangladeshi players. It's formed from the captain of the team is Aldred Sama, who used to be has been a consistent player for Bangladesh for a while now. So yeah, not really a lot of info because this was the team, this was actually the 16th team which registered, and yeah, let's see how they turn out because yeah, they registered on the last day, so I really don't have a lot of info on their play style. But yeah, the one interesting info which I do have that they wanted to call themselves Boylaxi International. So yeah.
Boylaxi International, let's go. I'm sure there's a guy called ADC slash AK Loki who would love to join that roster too, but sadly he's playing for Nutcut Londe. Moving on, Eximius Esports. Orion, can you roll the wheel and see which team will join as the third team for Group? And it's going to be Passive Aggression, aka Pew Pew Lasers, as they were called. They are one of the runners-up of the semi-pro tournament. They have changed their name, and that's actually also sort of upgraded the jungle by getting a person called Ninja Crux on the roster. This group is interesting because Ignite Esports are also basically a good team, but I think it's going to be a little difficult for Passive Aggression from the looks of it. Frost, what do you think? Early thoughts about
I think Passive Aggression is really up against it. They're going to have to improve their game a lot if they want to take games across against these kind of teams. Ignite Esports is again very strong when compared, and of course Eximius, I don't have to say things about them. So yeah, they'll have to really pull their A game, and they can because I have seen them play, and they can get behind and pull off some surprise 4-man, 5-man ganks at board. So yeah, it will be interesting to see how they step up as compared to these teams.
All right, let's see who's the third team that will get drafted to Group C. Orion, can you roll the wheel and see who do we get? All right, it's going to be Team Rampage Gaming who will be a part of Group C. So that's another Bangladeshi team that will be a part of Group C. And first, I think you know a little more about Group Rampage Gaming. Do you know these individuals and how they are?
Yeah, Rampage Gaming has Mahdi Hassan, who was formerly mid laner. So yeah, and it's a team of Black Wolves. So they have played lots of tournament experience there, but apart from that, not much info I have on them. It's going to be tough for them because this group is not really looking very easy right now, to be honest with me. So yeah, I mean who knows, there might be dark horses. I really don't have a lot of info.
I actually think every group in a way is difficult, but yeah, it's not getting any easy. There's a lot of good teams that have yet not been drafted, like Lanka Lions and Infernal and Rizal CJ. So the fourth rotation of our groups will really decide how strong these teams are. So without further ado, Group D, White Shadows, Thought Gaming. Orion, tell me who's the third team gonna go to Group D? Oh, this is interesting. Frozen Matrix. So Frozen Matrix are a Pakistani team of all platinum players, and after Eximius, I believe they are the second strongest team, or at least the one that have registered in the tournament. So I'm assuming that they are good. So not a lot has been known about this team, Frost, I think. But
yeah, apart from as far as their playstyle is concerned, we have no information. Apart from the captain's name, his IGN goes to be Tankistan. So yeah, I have no information about how they play or any of that. But yeah, since they have registered and since there are only two teams from Pakistan, so I will be expecting a level of play from them.
I like the diversity coming out right there from Group D. There's an Indian team, there is a Bangladeshi team, and then there's a Pakistani team. So let's see if we round it up with a Sri Lankan team. So you can actually have Group D with 4 different countries. But again, Frozen Matrix, not a lot has been known about this team, but it's going to be amazing to see what they can bring up, because they are against, I think, what this could potentially be the group of death, because Thought Gaming is one of the strongest Pool B teams in my opinion, and White Shadows are also a very strong team, but not like unsurpassable at the moment. So it's going to be interesting to see how Group D plays out. So I'm looking forward to see what the last team that will end up being in Group D. But for now, we will end up going to Group A, and we will select the last team that will end up going to Group A. So Ryan, could you roll the wheel and see what we get? Going to be Meme Master, the last team that is going to be a part of Ruthless Gaming's roster. So Meme Masters are a Sri Lankan team, similar to how Frozen Matrix is the second best team. I believe Meme Masters are one of the better teams in the Sri Lankan region. And again, Frost, we do not know a lot about this team except that the name is shared by another team in India. But I think it'll be interesting to see, but from the way this group has shaped out, first, like personal honest opinion, I think Ruthless Gaming have got like the easiest group of the tournament from the looks.
But then again, like they are one of the favorites for the tournament, so any group will look like that for them. But yeah, but the teams they have gotten, yeah, I don't. This should be an easy group for them overall.
All right, so let's round out. Like we'll do the group discussions once the draws are done. So let's see Group B: Eximius Esports, Ignite Esports, and Passive Aggression. Orion, can you roll the wheel and see who's the fourth team that's going to be added to Group B? And Rise of CJ are going to be a part of Group B. Rise of CJ are a pretty good team, right? First, like when they have shown.
Rise of CJ have been consistently the third or fourth best team in Bangladesh for a long while now. Definitely can't underestimate them and their ability to play together. They can definitely pick off games of anyone if they get a decent lead. So yeah, Rise of CJ is not somebody I would be looking to, take lightly.
Yeah, I mean, like this is actually going to be an interesting group because. Again, I feel Group B, like early thoughts, like I think we'll talk about later. We'll figure out predictions later. Right. Let's move on to Group C for Orion and let's see who ends up joining Group C.
Yeah, all the groups will be decided off this.
Yeah, off of this. Infernal Gaming, which basically means Lanka Lions are going to be part of Group D. So, early thoughts, Group C, Infernal Gaming, another very strong team, another Bangladeshi team. So, basically, Group C is formed from 3 Bangla teams and 1 Storm Raiders fighting it out. And that's going to be a very, very close group for us. What do you think about that?
Yeah, Group C right now is looking as the mini group of death. It's Group C and even Group D for that matter. Really close groups and it's going to be fun to watch both of the matches here.
All right, so let's do this first. Our teams are formed. As you guys can see, these are the 4 groups that we will be playing. And before, I think it makes sense to just have a discussion about each group right now. So first, what are your thoughts on Group A going into the tournament?
Group A, I think Ruthless emerges as the clear favorite out of these 4 teams. We don't have a lot of information on the rest of the 3 teams to, make an accurate prediction about the second place, but I definitely feel that Ruthless will come out on top from this group. I think the main race for this group will be the race for second place and who comes out from there.
Yeah, that's what I want to add. So, like, the second place would be a very interesting thing because from the looks of it, I think Ruthless might just end up winning and coming number 1, but this gives an opportunity for one of the other teams to become number 2 and actually qualify out of groups. So basically, Meme Team, Epic Gamers, and Meme Masters, it'll be fun to see which team amongst these. And I mean, from the information that we have, we don't know. It could pretty much be anyone's game at this point. So that will be an interesting thing to follow in Group A. And now we want to Group B with Eximius Esports, Ignite Esports, Passive Aggression, and Rise of CJ. Frost, what are your thoughts on this group and how do you think this will pan out?
Once again, I don't know how well. If Ignite Esports steps up to the mark, then it's going to be a really interesting group because, again, I do expect the Pool A seed to qualify from this because I don't really think that the other teams will be able to surmount that big of a challenge. But then again, I might be wrong and somebody might be playing very good on today. But yeah, if Ignite Esports, Rise of CJ are able to bring their A game to this group, then it will be a very interesting group to spectate overall.
Definitely. In my personal opinion, passive aggression seem to be the underdogs in this group because they are facing the behemoths in the Pakistani team as well as two very promising teams from India and Bangladesh. So it's up to them to see how well they can do it. And I think while a lot has been known about Rise of CJ, Ignite Esports as a team will be something I'm also looking forward to seeing and how they play as well. So a lot of unknowns, but like this, the battle for second place clearly not as defined as it is. And again, I'm guessing Exemius might just come out on top here without any. I mean, they will not probably have the most difficult time. Maybe if Ignite Esports shows us something we haven't seen, maybe they can. But I still see somewhere Exemius maybe topping this group as well. So that's personal thoughts of mine. Moving on to Group C, Frosh, you and I are in the same group. We end up playing each other, and two other Bangladeshi teams in Team Rampage and Infol are very good teams themselves. What are your thoughts on this group, Frost? Like this is not an easy group. I'll be honest with you.
This is not an easy group, and this is a group where I think anybody can take games of anyone. It's going to be interesting to see, who comes out on top. It's hard to call, and yeah, I think hopefully, optimistically, I would like to call Red Vipers and Storm Raiders qualifying. But again, like on the day, you cannot really be sure.
That's true. That's true. I mean, while I do know my team, I definitely have not known the qualities of the other teams. Infernal Gaming, to be honest, have played for a really long time, the last year or so, and they have been stuck as a team, so they do have that going for them. Rampage Gaming is a very promising individuals, and Red Vipers, the kings of BD, in a way, back with the new roster with basically Vitality and Frost, who will be playing the bot lane. So a lot has been like it'll be very interesting to see how that pans out, and like I don't know, let's just see when the matches happen, we'll know for sure. And then rounding out Group D, which I wouldn't know if to call it the group of death, but I definitely think it's going to be one of the most competitive groups for sure, because while White Shadows and Thought Gaming are going to battle it out, there are teams like Lanka Lions who have shown good macro prowess in the tournaments, as well as an unknown quantity in Frozen Matrix, but could surprise us to show something we haven't seen. And what are your thoughts going to Group D first? Do you think White Shadows and Thought Gaming are going to make it out, or do you think they're going to get challenges from Frozen Matrix and Lanka Lions? And if even between them, who do you actually see end up topping the group?
Topping the group, I can't call that, but yeah, I can see White Shadows and Thought Gaming making it through. I think from the talent I know which exists on those teams and the level at which they can play, I'm pretty sure White Shadows and Thought Gaming should be able to make it out of this group. It looks very complicated on paper, but I think inside the game, I think White Shadows and Thought Gaming, the individual matches between them will be the main focus of this group.
All right, so basically this is going to be interesting. So A, B, C, and D. So like we said, guys, Group A matches are going to be played on Friday. B and C are on Saturday. D is on Sunday. The first half is going to happen this week. The second half of the round robin will happen on the second week. And honestly, these draws have shaped up to be quite exciting. But in a way, we haven't really seen a insanely group of death where we had like some really really strong teams in one group and some really easy teams. I'm thinking probably barring Ruthless Gaming, which I think has gotten the easier lot of the draw, but everyone else, every other group seems really stacked at this point, and I think this is going to be an excellent tournament for us. And are you as excited as I am before the tournament to start?
Oh yeah, definitely so, and everybody has work to get back to, because especially people in Group C and Group D, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard for everyone actually, and yeah, I think we're going to have a very very exciting tournament on our hands. Not to mention, we are going to have another group draw after another match draw after the group stage is done to determine how the playoffs will shape up. So yeah,
that's going to be pretty interesting as well. And all right, so that probably does it for the draws for us, guys. It was great to have you guys chatting on board and BMing each other. This is exactly the kind of community I love to watch. And just stay tuned. Follow the LoL India Facebook group if you guys haven't. All updates regarding tournament will be posted there, and we will start the tournament in a couple of days. So I'm looking forward to your participation, your viewership, and everything else. And for now, it's just see you guys later.